This is a conversation about love, how we can go deeper, with Jill and Stu and Diana.
Okay. Well, Diana, I think I'll just kind of pick it up from here. And as everybody probably knows from the intermittent postings that I do, you and I have opportunities from time to time to chat in between the posts that we see on the Facebook page and on the GoFundMe page. And one of the themes that's really coming out clearly here is, I don't think I can say it any other way except that it's just a theme of learning to love. We've touched on in the past even your ability to find yourself loving the cancer, because in essence the cancer is you, and so you've allowed yourself to make what I think for a lot of people would be a very different take a very different approach, and instead of hating the cancer and wanting to kill the cancer, you actually want to love it back into what are normal parts of yourself. And so, I wondered if you could talk a little bit deeper about this experience of really learning to love yourself through this process, and if you've had some change of heart as you've approached yourself and self-love throughout this journey that you've been on.
Okay, sure. Love is the ideal, right? It's the goal. It's where we all would like to be in our culture. But what I've also learned in my studies is that love is actually the energy that holds the fabric of the universe together. Love is so present and so palpable and so pervasive that it takes a great deal more effort to shut it out than to let it in, according to the teachers. However, I've been real good at shutting it out. Just like everybody else I know. And with the cancer came an opportunity to say, well, all right, this is not a pleasant situation. It's terrifying. It's, clearly it's life-threatening. It's livelihood-threatening. It's all sorts of things that are not what I would want for myself. So how can I take advantage of this? How can I make something from this that I will value and that will get me somehow closer to that ideal? And it's not been easy, I will tell you. It's not been a smooth, bumpless ride. But what I've really been making an effort lately, and loving the cancer has kind of fallen into the background in context more of trying to love my body, in the sense of loving my body into wholeness, and the cancer simply just will take its appropriate place, which is not there. But then there's loving me, and all of me, not just my body. And I've been working on that, and there's a bunch of little tools and tricks and skills and things like that that I've been taught over the years that I've been playing with. And, you try something and you don't think it really did anything and whatever. And a couple days ago, I had the most extraordinary experience. It was early morning, and I had vacated my bed because the sun was coming in so strongly. It was already hot, like it was already over 90 in my bedroom, just from the sun coming through the closed blinds and curtains and stuff. And so I went into the family room where I spend most of my days and lay down on my back and realized that my hair was up in a knot to keep it off my neck for the night, and I just wanted to let it out. So I took the elastic out of my hair, which is really long, and it flowed down across the pillow. And I just turned my head for a moment to reach to the right and put the elastic on the coffee table. And there I saw my hair, and all of a sudden It was like this completely open, unguarded moment, and I was flooded with a sense of tremendous, tremendous love for myself. I've never, ever, I have no recollection of ever feeling that before, ever.
Wow.
I can't even begin to tell you why it would happen then or what caused that, but it just was this flood. And it was as if to say, look, just all you have to do is just be this. I was blown away. I was. To me, it just meant that all the efforts I've been making to kind of open the chinks in the armor are beginning to work. You know?
Yeah, that, boy, wouldn't we all love to have a moment like that? I mean, I think we, and especially women, we're so programmed to be so hard on our bodies that when we start to recognize the power of who we are as people, not just as women or men, but what an incredible experience. Do you?
I've got a question
yeah,
about that.
Stuart, step in here.
The thing that's kind of just struck me about what you just said was that the nature of your cancer is attacking your femininity.
Mm-hmm.
And this long hair, I know men have long hair these days and, it's kind of multigender, but really long flowing hair is a very feminine icon, isn't it?
Indeed.
And I'm wondering whether suddenly seeing this long flowing hair kind of connected you back to the femininity that you might be feeling that you're losing.
Oh, that's really lovely. I love that. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that's part of it.
Because it's quite an association, isn't it? I mean, I know I'm getting less from the metaphysical and more of the kind of, mind, brain, how it works and stuff. But to me, that seems like a very deep association.
It's all valid. It's all part of the picture. So yeah. Wow. Yeah, I bet that is part of it actually, and I thank you for connecting that up for me because I hadn't seen it.
One of the things that I think we've seen people respond to in the videos that you've posted, and maybe now might be a great time, Diana, just to remind everybody of where they can go to find the links to not only hear from you and learn from your wisdom, but also to support our fundraising effort. Could you share with everybody the best places to get those?
Absolutely.
So we're not talking on.
Yeah, Facebook is kind of the focus of it. So we have a community page on Facebook called Facing Cancer with Courage, One Woman's Journey. And then there's a page on the GoFundMe fundraiser site where we are collecting donations for my treatments. And they've been tremendously helpful. We have a big goal on that site, but I'm not sure that we're going to make that goal per se. But even in the meantime, the donations that are coming in are hugely valuable. They're helping me get what I need into my body or get the treatments that I need. So it's really good. Anyway, that is www.gofundme.com, and then it's Diana's-fight. And there is a link. I'll double check and make sure I put a link there, but there is a link from the community page to the GoFundMe page. And there's also on the Facebook page, all of the videos that I've done on YouTube are posted there. So all you have to do is scroll down a little bit, you'll find the series. And the connection, the link to the GoFundMe site is also in the description of all the YouTube videos. So easily found.
And actually, I just Googled GoFundMe and then put your name, Diana Lees, after it, and you were right at the top, number one.
Oh, perfect.
So that's an easy way as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Stu. I didn't know that was going to work so well. How nice. How nice.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if anybody's listening to this and having any trouble themselves connecting in life, if that's like something that's happening over and over for them, that they're just struggling to connect with people, maybe that they should then look inwards about how much they're actually loving themselves, because that could be the problem. But they can't accept it because they don't give it to themselves.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and speaking kind of from my own experience, I know when I had a diagnosis at 29, it gave me, and I think any terminal illness or any sort of major health challenge, crisis, gives you that chance to just really, really, really strip away everything that is the noise and the stuff, and it does. And when you just peel back layer after layer after layer, you and I have talked about this. I mean, I think what we all come to at the end is love. That is, in essence, who we are, who we strive to be, what we want, and what we want to give. You want to talk about that at all? Has that been something you've discovered?
I would say that that's sort of the basis for this whole conversation. I mean, that's at the end of the day, what do you have? When all of the trappings of life are gone, and even when your life is gone, what do you have? And of course, it's a mystery, right? Because we don't necessarily all remember. I happen to believe some things about incarnations and so on, but it's still a belief to me. It's not something that I've experienced so deeply that I'm 100% sure. So yeah, what's left? And honestly, most of it is just completely meaningless, except for love. And I actually have an anecdote I'll relate about a friend who's another one. She's an author and a teacher and a hands-on energy healer, and she's been working very deeply with self-love and trying to connect into with it. And she had a sort of dream/vision not long ago where she'd been shot, and she had like 2 seconds to kind of make a choice about what she would anchor into. And what she realized at that point is exactly what I just said, is that everything that we call important in this life isn't. Nothing's important in this life except love. And she was, until she realized that in this dream, she was totally disoriented. Once she realized it, then she had a sense of homecoming and connection and healing.
When we're kind of taught by thought leaders that we should love unconditionally, and that in fact actually real love is unconditional. That's the way to kind of demonstrate it. Now, is there an argument to say that loving ourselves should be conditional, or should that also be unconditional? If we get caught up in something that we've done in the past that we consider it was bad or not acceptable or below par or whatever, that we use that as an excuse not to love ourselves, even in a partial way. And so therefore we're actually not demonstrating unconditional love to ourselves. We're actually saying, well, I need to be good enough before I can love myself. Is that valid?
That's how people operate, sure. But that's not where we're trying to go here.
So, Stuart, I think you raised, a really interesting question about whether self-love, the love that we're going to give ourselves, needs to be unconditional or not. And Diana, I know you said you've got some thoughts on that. I think we should maybe wrap up what we were talking about today and save that topic for the next time we get together. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Sounds fine.
Good. So why don't we wrap up today's talk? And Diana, thank you for sharing that. Any last words, Stuart?
It's a bit of an eye opener to delve deeper into this love issue, because sometimes people feel it's a bit fluffy, but it really is the base of everything.
Yep. 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 Diana, how about you? Anything before we sign off for today?
No, I think we've touched on what's important today. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that story. That was really inspiring, and it's great to hear and see the comments from everybody on the Facing Cancer with Courage page at Facebook. So I really encourage everybody to respond if you like what we had to say today. If you've got a comment, if you'd like to challenge or offer a new insight, we're open, we're listening, and we appreciate your support as we go through this journey together. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thanks a lot.